switch to this particular Zoom room is that this gives us the ability for people to go into breakout rooms. We are not going live on Facebook. This class won't be live on Facebook. It's just the other people present or those of us that are with us now. But it's an opportunity for any of you to receive empathy and understanding, and to give empathy and understanding. And if people want privacy, I can put them into a private room. Also, this way, we have multiple love coaches and multiple people who may want to receive empathy. So this way we can have as many breakout rooms as we need based on people who are showing up. One thing that's always helpful is to use the chat box. And so for any of you that are new to Zoom or new to working with us, a couple things. If you take your cursor, if you're on a computer, if you take your cursor into the upper right-hand corner, that's where you can choose speaker view or gallery view. If you're on a phone, you don't have that option. If you're on the phone, you can only swipe to one direction, and then you can only see 3 other people and yourself at a time. If you're on a computer, you can go to the upper right-hand corner and you can pick speaker view or gallery view. Speaker view means, like right now, you'll just see me talking. Gallery view is where you get to see everybody. You get to see how beautiful Miriam and Mimi and Cassandra and Atira are, right? So gallery view is kind of nice to meet everybody, but speaker view if you want to just focus on who's talking. Also on your computer, if you take your cursor now down to the bottom, you'll see that just a little bit left of center is a little thing that says chat. And if you open up the chat box, you will then be able to chat with us. And I'm probably going to ask questions like who wants to receive empathy today and who wants to give empathy. You can either answer to everyone, or if you want to answer just to me, if you go down to the bottom of that chat box, you see a little blue bar that probably says everyone on it. Click on that little bar, and then you can pick who you want to talk to. Right? Do you want to send Scott a message? Do you want to send Daniel a message because he gave such great empathy? Do you want to send Adrian a message because you think he's a good-looking guy? Whatever it is, you can pick who you want to send a message to that way. All right? And then the last thing is in the far lower left-hand corner is your mute button. And so if I'm calling on one of you, unmute yourself, but then always remember to put the mute button back on when you're done speaking. Okay. Are there any questions? Anybody have any questions just about the technology of it all? Okay. So I would like to ask everyone to let me know who wants to receive empathy today and who wants to give empathy today, so I can start putting that together in my mind. And for those of you who want to receive empathy, maybe just if you can put in a phrase what it's for, wanting to receive empathy for how difficult it is to be in social distancing, or empathy for a health issue, or empathy for a relationship issue. Just that helps me to kind of figure out which love coach might be the most appropriate for you. And also, if you're wanting to receive empathy, let me know if you want it to be private, in a private room with a love coach, or if you're comfortable doing it with the whole group watching, or the majority of the group watching. Okay. So again, everybody letting me know who wants to give empathy, who wants to receive empathy. Hopefully we'll find a nice balance of both. And yes, Mimi. Hi, Mimi.
Hi, beautiful. Are we texting you directly, or do you want us to speak into the group?
Texting me privately is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, either way is fine. I mean, if people want to speak into the group, that's okay. But text me privately, and I'm going to start getting in touch with who wants to give, who wants to receive. Right now we have a lot of givers, so we need some receivers. We need some people wanting to receive. Okay, well, we got one receiver. We've got right now, oh good, it's balancing out. We've got 4 givers and 2 receivers. 5 givers and 2 receivers. 3 receivers. One who goes both ways. That helps out. Okay. Mimi, while I start putting this together, Would you like to introduce to people what empathy actually is, what giving empathy is in Love Coach Academy?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. So, hi everyone. Good evening. Across the screen, sending love to everybody tonight. So, empathy is dropping in to our emotions and our feelings, and then reflecting that back on a soulful level, instead of trying to fix, or instead of trying to steer them, just dropping in with them exactly where they are, and really either helping to start breathing with them, or the deep listening skills of reflecting back what you're hearing them talking about, and then just sitting with them and really feeling that within your heart, and offering a lot of space between yourself and the other person to hold that space with them as they're moving through what's going on in their headspace and their heart space.
Beautiful. And I'd love to open it up if, because I'm still kind of figuring out who's going to work with who. Adrienne, oh, Lolly, perfect.
Hi, guys. I just want to say thank you, Mimi, Radiance. I love calling you Radiance. That was so beautiful. And I just want to give a little visual to people about empathy. And it really hit me a couple years ago when I saw this little visual of this guy who just went down. He actually literally climbed down a ladder and went into this dark tunnel with this other person who was having so many problems. And he just went down into the tunnel and he just sat there with him. And it really helped me understand. And he just kind of he just looked at him, and but he was in the tunnel. He was just in the tunnel. And the good news is he didn't have to do anything, but he just had to get down in the tunnel with the other guy that was having the problem. And thank you, guys. I see that, Radiance. So, you know, a lot of times what I try to do is take myself off the hook with what the right thing is to say. Sometimes embodying that I don't have to say anything. I just have to be in it. And it's kind of hard on this group because, everyone's listening and you got to say. But I think when I asked Scott last week, you guys remember that? And I said, hey, Scott, can you show us embodied empathy? First thing Scott did was he just went, hmm. And in that moment, he told all of us that he was thinking about what he thought he'd heard he said because he didn't know he was going to be on the spot. So he really went there. And sometimes what I notice is embodying it, like I feel like it's easier for me because I don't have to really think about what I have to say. I just have to be willing to get down into the tunnel with them. And sometimes it's scary in that tunnel, right? Because you want to fix it, you want to change it, but it just got to go down the ladder in the tunnel and just kind of sit there. And it's so amazing how healing to me that can be for any human being. So that's my little 2 cents on empathy.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. In Love Coach Academy, we twinkle people. So we're twinkling Laura, and we also want to twinkle Mimi, also known as Radiance. Thank you. All right, so here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do one public where everybody's watching, one person giving and one person receiving. Um, and then we're going to put people into breakout rooms, all right? For those of you that want to receive, send me another message, although I wrote down the names of 4 people, but send me another message letting me know if you prefer having a man or a woman giving you empathy, and also letting me know if you're okay with doing it publicly or if you want to do it in private, okay? And for our kind of demonstration, I'm going to actually use 2 love coaches. Mimi wanted to receive, and Adrienne, would you be willing to give? Okay, so unmuting Mimi, unmuting Adrienne. And I suggest that people put it on speaker, and that way when Mimi's talking, you'll see her. When Adrienne's talking, you'll see him. You don't have to do it that way. You can keep it on gallery view, but I personally am going to put it on speaker so we can kind of watch. And we're going to start by listening to Mimi share what she'd like to receive some understanding or some empathy for.
Thank you. Hi, Adrienne.
Mimi. Hi, Mimi.
Well, thank you for being here and listening for a few minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, so first thing that I'm recognizing is like my heart is pretty sped up this evening, and my breath, I'm recognizing like a lot. I'm having to really be conscious of breathing more right now. So with that, so I'm just getting connected there for a minute. So with that, yeah. I'm really trying to get focused. So I also am recognizing my brain speeding up to like, I have a lot of story around this.
Great awareness.
Yeah. The original wound was my parents having really having a big dream to run a campground when I was a child. They put all of their savings in, and then they lost it, like that all during the oil crisis in the 80s. So all of their money went, and we were homeless.
Wow.
So there's like that childhood wound. So I recognize that that's where that brain pattern comes from of fix it, fix it, fix it, and the panic. I know where that comes from.
And that's what's happening for you right now. You're kind of in this fix it mode, as you're
So,
describing.
Yeah, well, I'm recognizing that that's the repeat button that my brain is trying to adjust to, is that early pattern of needing safety and needing some security. So that's where I would love the most support this evening. And so the rest of the story is Stephen and I took, after we sold the company, we took all of our money and we put it into the stock market, and we put it into building this recording studio. And then he lost his job in December, and the recording studio is supposed to be finished in August. And so, and so there's like this panic about, you know, we didn't know in December. We just figured we'll just slide by, but our savings are like, you know, quickly diminishing. And so I keep on telling myself, well, at least I can live in a camper. I know what living tiny feels like, and I'm really, truly, genuinely okay with that. But there's still this dreamer's dream. And really, like, all of this freaking work that I've done to get here in terms of emotional health, and just feeling like I'm really dancing on the edge of that daily. Like, my heart feels like it's in panic mode, and my brain, with all of these tools, I keep on going in, and I'm like, no, it's okay. You got to visualize. You got to like bring it back down. So that's where I would really appreciate some support, is just the breath work and connecting there. And really hearing your wisdom around that. So thank you. And thank you everyone for holding space tonight.
Wow, well, thanks for sharing. That's a lot. Yeah.
It is a lot.
And I'm imagining with you didn't really speak specifically about what's happening in the economy, but that's like a big part of that, the unknown of just the financial situation that's happening everywhere. Yeah.
Yes. I could even feel myself trying to catch my breath as you were talking. I like, you know, so yeah, totally. Yes, the financials. Yes.
Yeah.
And instability.
Yeah. Gosh, Mimi, I can really appreciate, and if I feel you in that. You know, I think I'm so appreciating of the framework and understanding that our primary need is to be safe. And, you know, our primary strategy to feel safe is to cultivate money. You know, we're all doing it. And here, the risk that you took and then the risk wrapped up in dream, you know, like there's this creative process that you're endeavoring in as well. Yeah, and so sitting in that unknown.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I have such tears. Yes, yes, the unknown.
Yeah, the unknown. I'm really appreciating your vulnerability and your self-awareness around that tendency to fix, to grasp. And I'm also seeing like you're aware of that, you're feeling that viscerally in your body. And I'm also sensing this tremendous capacity to just be here without trying to fix, without making it different, just sitting in the moment, in the unknown, and cultivating that safety of acceptance. I really feel that from you, like both.
Yeah.
And I just so appreciate that wisdom. It's such a great gift for all of us. You know, like, yeah, what do I do? How do I stop it? What do I? Oh, yes. And feel your fortitude. Like, you're okay with less. Like, and feeling that safety and security of your resilience. I'm wondering if you would like to just take a moment right now to be here in the unknown, knowing that it's
I don't have to like it though, right?
right. Yeah. You know,
Oh,
and being in the unknown and that inherent trust and confidence, it's going to be okay. I mean, even with however it might be, maybe, you know, living in a trailer, just sitting in your capacity to be in acceptance.
yeah. Yeah, knowing that, you know, that my 11-year-old did end up in a trailer, that was you know, that my 11-year-old knows how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you. Yes, I'm just breathing here and recognizing the uncomfortableness of the uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And how much I cover that with laughter, because I'm like, you know, like part of me just wants to scream, and if there were like lots of medications available to cover uncomfortable, that would be amazing. But I also recognize that doesn't do anything. It just pushes it further down the road. So yes, I'm sitting with uncomfortable, and I'm really fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Sometimes we can change our story to healthier stories, or we can do something to feel better, to feel more upliftment. And sometimes it's just uncomfortable. We don't know. And cultivating that ability to just be with and cultivate as much objective awareness as we can with it, you know, without pushing it that away. You know, because when we push that away, it can be challenging. Without getting into fix it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I recognize in talking with you is how much more awareness I have in my body now of what's going. Like I can read my body now and see, wow, like as I was about to speak to you, how my throat was kind of fluttering, and so one of the discoveries here at this edginess is body awareness. And my second big like celebration towards this is moving towards asking for support instead of trying to figure it out by myself. So those were really,
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a feeling that Scott's going to interrupt here soon, and my tendency, because you expressed this desire to just be here and breathe. You know, expressing your tendency, your elevated nervous system and your breath. Before he interrupts, do you feel like just sitting here for a moment together?
I do, yes.
And focusing on your breath?
Can I focus on your breath, because that'll be easier?
Yeah, absolutely. noticing sighing is really helpful for me, activating my vagus nerve.
Very helpful. Present. Thank you. Thank you, Adrian. Oh my gosh, I adore you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I appreciate your freshness of self-awareness. It's such a, it's a gift to all of us. So thank you for offering us that.
Thank you so much. Let's twinkle, both Mimi and Adrian. Beautiful job. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to welcome a really special person who just joined us. She's actually one of the original people that helped get Love Coach Academy going. She's a brilliant coach and therapist. And I just want to introduce Ann West, who's been busy taking care of other parts of her life. But Ann, I'm putting the spotlight on you for a moment. And it's really nice to have you with us.
Hi, Ann.
And it's very special.
Hey, everybody. It's so nice. It's so nice to join this forum, Scott. Thank you for inviting me and to giving me the insight to this is a regular thing, and I'm looking forward to joining more again. At one point, I was extremely busy with Love Coach Academy, and I've opened up my own practice in Napa, and I've been super busy. And this is a great time. We've got this lull right now to be able to reconnect, and I'm looking forward to joining you all more. And I just want to say in advance that I won't be able to stay here in circle at 7 at start. So I did want to just pop in there and say hello. I was knocking on the wrong door of a Zoom for ages. I couldn't get in.
That was my goof. Yeah. So anyway, welcome, Ann. Okay, here's what I'd like us to do. Let's twinkle, Ann. I've created 4 breakout rooms for 2 people each to go into, and the rest of us are going to stay in the main group where we're going to do some work. All right, but I've got Adrian working with Kenny, Paul working with Sarah, Miriam working with Timothy, and Anuprabha working with Love Divine. All right, so what I'm going to do is in a moment, I'm going to click open rooms. And for those of you that I've assigned to a room, that would be those 8 people, you're going to get a little message that says join room, and you got to click to join that room. Okay. You can stay in that room for as long as you want with your coach. And whenever you 2 feel done, just click leave room and you'll come back to the main group. Meanwhile, the rest of us will continue to work together in group. And I'm still open to those that are in the main group. If at a certain point 2 more people want to go off, they can. All right. So I've clicked open all rooms. And again, if you're one of those 8 people, please click join room. Our numbers are about to dwindle here. And beautiful. Thank you. All right. I think, Akira, I've got you in a room, so you need to click join room. Okay, I put you in with somebody. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I got you confused. I'm very confused today. My bad. All right. So with those of us that are left, if somebody else at any point wants to receive empathy privately, probably it's best just to raise your hand and let me know that, and I'll assign someone to join you in a private room. But for those of us that are in a group, we're going to kind of learn and to practice. And so Deborah Haviland has a big thing going on. So Deborah, I'm going to give you a chance to receive empathy. And I want to let some of the more advanced love coaches maybe give empathy initially. But multiple people can certainly do so. So Deborah, you can share for, keep it to a minute, 90 seconds at the most of what's going on that you're wanting understanding for. And then maybe if Daniel and Lolly can go first at giving her empathy, and then we'll kind of see where we are after that, all right? So, Deborah, again, I suggest people go to speaker view, and you can begin.
Okay, thank you, Scott. So basically, I'm in the middle of a move that looked like it made total sense in the winter when it was gray and rainy and yuck and some things that happened. I'll try to stay out of story and just nuts and bolts. And so my financial advisor was like, the rent you're paying in these gorgeous places too much, and you would do great. Did you know that you could go to Florida and find a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home in a 55 and older community that would be glorious, deluxe, swimming pool, yada, yada. And so I went to Florida, and in the middle of winter, that was like Maui practically, so it all made sense and it was exciting. And I went on a hunt. And in January, I went again and found a mobile home, came back, and I was definitely afraid. So I've been whatever. And then suddenly spring blossoms, everything blossoms. Suddenly Scott's whole thing is blossoming. So our whole love coach thing is blossoming, and Saturday Night Live is blossoming. And I want to be totally part of this. And, I've lived in California for 45 years. I figured out 8 of them in Maui. And suddenly I am, the escrow was up against the wall, and I kept stalling last week, but I had to, it sounded like I had to send it by Friday. And my friend Deanna Bonet, who's a master Jyotish astrologer, suddenly called on Thursday and said, well, if you're going to buy it, this weekend's the perfect time. If you send the money Friday, it'll land on this, whatever it was, some Indian name of the most auspicious day to buy property or something large. And I kind of went, okay, I guess. And the good news is my Sufi teacher's there, Dr. Ibrahim Jaffe, a medical intuitive doctor, and he wants me to help with the nutrition and healthy lifestyle coaching and compassionate communications with his clinics. But then the whole pandemic happened and all of this, so he can't start these clinics that would be at the Safety Harbor Resort until we get through all this lockdown, so it hasn't even started. So I'm going to arrive in this new place. So I'm kind of torn. There are exciting things about it, but then it's so exciting here now. So I've been waking up scared, thinking right when everything's taking off with Love Coach Academy, right when we're all blossoming together, I'm moving to it across the country to Florida. So my brain, I've been resisting signing the final waiver, but really the real estate agent said, you've already sent the money, so you basically own it. And then people say, well, you can just move there and then move back. But the whole point is to save money and get focused and really get my work open. So another good news is that the astrocartographer said, there's Pluto sitting on my moon here. So it ends up feeling like, which I've felt sometimes here, which is I'm not being totally seen, I'm not being totally gotten. How come they don't see me, that I'm this healer, coach, everything? And he says, when you go to Florida, you're going to be like a big fish in a smaller pond, and they're waiting for you, and suddenly you're going to be seen and recognized, because the ley lines say that. And it goes down to Costa Rica, where my land is, and my 2 brothers live up in the East Coast, and so family will visit more.
Okay, so thank you, Deborah. Thank you. I want to, that's a lot to work with.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. So Lolly and Daniel and either of you.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Daniel.
So I heard you say at one point in there that you're feeling scared. Yeah. Scared to change.
I'll be left out suddenly of this family that I've invested time, money, and learning to blossom with all of you.
Mm-hmm. Because you think if you move there, you won't be a part of this anymore.
Somehow, yeah. Somehow, because I have proximity to Scott being just an hour away, or certain other people. But I mean, I realize that you're in Maui and Timothy's in Maui and Mimi's in Indiana and Lolly's in Southern California.
So is it possible that you're just telling yourself a story that if you move there, you wouldn't be part of this community anymore?
Yes, that's a possibility.
Okay.
It's a story I'm telling myself.
And when you tell yourself that, you feel scared and maybe even sad.
Oh, I've been grieving.
Yeah.
I've been bursting out in tears. I've been thinking, this tree, this walk, this garden, the hummingbirds in my garden, you know, I have like 22 more days to see this, and then
Mm.
boom.
So it's not only sadness and fear about not being part of this community anymore, but the beautiful place that you're living now and the life you know. You're going to have to grieve that. Maybe you've started grieving that already.
I've been really letting myself grieve. I've been really, even on a walk, suddenly, letting those crying motions come out.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And noticing that I haven't been in my best emotional shape because of this. Like I just want to put a tag on that. So, I've been kind of raw.
So you're telling yourself that being raw isn't your best emotional shape.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I'm in a public situation or even with a group, I want to be in my most clear professional self and be honoring everybody.
Okay. And it's been challenging to keep the boundaries between, like, compartmentalizing when it's appropriate to really be in your feelings about it, and when it's better to have your composure.
Right.
And in the places where you've needed your composure, you haven't authentically really been able to fully have that.
Like that moment that I'll just reference that about. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So I think I really got, okay, I can be very clear about when I can let my hair down and this, and when I just need to be clear as a bell.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's, it sounds like the feelings, the grieving, is wanting more attention from you. Because it's difficult to contain it when you need to contain it, because it's like wanting to be seen and felt and heard, and its story really wants you to experience it. Does that resonate?
That one, I think I'm thinking in my head something I want to say that's like, can you say that again? That one maybe didn't resonate.
Yeah, I'm just tuning into the emotions that are coming up, some of which are grieving the changes and letting go, and I'm understanding that you're crying and you're feeling those feelings, and at the same time there are times when you don't want to, or you want to hold your composure, but that's still coming through as if it hasn't been fully heard yet. As if it wants more of your time.
Okay, so I'm going down into my body.
Yeah.
I think I'm afraid that I'm leaving too soon, and maybe I should have waited till November when I know I'm done with a Saturn Dasha. My chart, and sorry if this sounds too woo-woo, but it's one of my oracles. Diana Bonet, my dear friend, said, you could be leaving now or you could be leaving in November. It's a shocking change. I have to remember that gurus and masters even leave their favorite country and come here to serve. People shift around to go and serve. I know Anne moved out, there, and you created a beautiful home. I know Mimi has been very encouraging that I'm a frequency match for going and teaching in Florida. There are beautiful people there. So I'm going to be right near Sarasota, and Sarasota is known to be a Silicon Valley of healers. There's beautiful Sufi center there that's called Rising Tide International with and there's a beautiful woman, Franny Hoffman,
Mm.
who lives and teaches there, that is just like exquisite, like, you know, I'll say
Mm.
like my friend Ann, she reminds me of Ann West, and she wrote this amazing book about from modeling clothes to modeling love and enlightenment. And I already have a great connection with her.
Okay.
I did live in Minnesota in my early 30s, and I was a fashion consultant and a dance teacher.
Mm.
So I'm encouraging myself now. So
Yeah,
the
it's beautiful.
love and empathy you're giving me, I'm realizing I really kind of do have to go forward now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it sounds like you really believe in your choice, actually, and that there are difficult and uncomfortable feelings that come with that choice, but that's part of the process.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot of lessons as I go towards it. I mean,
Mm.
so I'm in a Saturn return, so things are just in front of my face. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, got this. Okay, got that. Okay. Even with escrow, I realized I didn't ask
Mm.
enough questions. I could have stalled. I was in
Yeah.
the driver's seat. I could have waited. Um,
Well, I'm
by the way,
seeing you. I'm
you know,
seeing.
you on this lockdown I'm looking at my funny nails. My gels have been peeling off in different ways.
Mm.
Anyway, it's just like funny.
I'm seeing your visionary self and your courage to move
I am a
forward.
visionary. I
Yeah.
painted this silk behind
Oh
me.
yeah.
Silks in the room.
They're
I
gonna
am
be so blessed to have you come out there and be the big fish in the little pond with them,
or at least the dolphin.
or at least the dolphin.
One of the dolphins. But I am. I'll be a happy, ecstatic person, bringing new energy and compassionate
Yeah.
communications and wisdom teachings and.
Fortunate them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's all twinkle Daniel and Deborah. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you everybody for carrying on. I don't know why power went out, but thank goodness it came back on a few minutes later. Deborah, do you feel well empathized with, or do you want one more person to give you
I
some?
feel very well. I feel well empathized, although I would love to hear from Mimi, Lolly, or Anne about this whole thing. Anne hasn't been around as much, so maybe, but whatever's appropriate, whoever feels inspired about the.
Yeah. So Anne, okay, great, wonderful.
Hey, Deborah.
Hey, Anne,
So good to see you.
it's so
And thank you so much. Thank you for sharing and explaining and exposing this vulnerable part of yourself that you're going through. And I can just imagine how scary that can be, because it's a really big move that you're making and across the country. And I'm imagining you were doing that for the reasons, the right reasons, to find your little niche there, to find your community and to be in service and to be able to contribute in a way where you would feel that you are seen. And I heard you saying that you didn't really feel that you were being really fully seen and acknowledged in this life here, as much as you feel like you've got to offer. And that Dr. Jaffe, who you're a big fan of, is over there. And I know Dr. Jaffe, he lived down the road from me here in Pope Valley for many years. And so I understand that you want to create that sacred space again. And I think I think we get cold feet when we have to make these enormous moves. And so, but I can really understand that fear and not knowing if, and having a fear that you're going to miss out on something. especially here because you know that things are starting to blossom. But I really feel that wherever you're going to be, you're going to attract the blossoming around you because it's what you put out. And I'm sure that even though that fear is there, you're going to be welcomed into to your tribe, wherever you are, whether you stay here or whether you take that leap of faith and you trust that your intuition when you chose to go there, when you chose to figure this out and save some money, be frugal, moving forward, going into a community where it's 55 and older, and you'll be, you know, right in there helping the best of them and sharing your magic and all of the tools that you've got. And, you know, I kind of see it, instead of you leaving this and leaving us, I kind of see it like you're helping us to expand and to go and take this sacred work to another arena and have this support to back you up.
That's
when
great.
you're out there.
I love that. I love that. Helping to expand this and take it. And I do want to say I'm not only, I think of myself as 45 forever, and I hang out with a lot of 45 and 40-year-old women who are just my buddies. I vibe with them. So I'm not going to be limited to just that community. I will definitely circulate in my Sarasota community and St. Petersburg, and then up with Dr. Jaffe and the whole Safety Harbor Resort and Spa, where we'll do clinics that will be kind of like Optimum Health Institute, but with a lot of spirituality.
I just have a question that is coming up for me, and it's this sense that you'll be left out that you spoke about, and I just wonder.
I'm working on that one. That's
it just feels to me that it's an old pattern. It's probably coming from a very deep place. I'm thinking I'm getting even childhood feeling left out, you know, because you and I know each other pretty well, and you know I've seen your patterns in before, and I've felt some of your struggles with you, and I think that sense of being left out is something that this move is going to help prove to you that you're not going to be left out of anything. You know, you've got a community here who love you and who are going to be supporting you. And right here in Zoom, we're all together, and you're going to stay in this cocoon with us, and you're going to expand. You're going to be another wing to the Love Coach Academy.
I love that. I really love that. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of my life I've actually been very popular, but then there are just moments, and probably because I have intense energy, enthusiasm and stuff. But when you said it probably goes way back, I remembered this time way back when I was like 6 years old, when I was like best friends with my friend Clarissa, and we did everything together and had sleepovers and everything. And then one night she chose to have Missy spend the night instead of me, and it was like, you know, yeah, one of those sad moments when you don't understand it, and yet in reality we were just expanding. Yeah.
Well, I think you might want to have a little chat with her and let her know that you're just expanding, you're going to make more new friends, so that she doesn't feel that she's left out.
Wow, it's really bringing up tears. Really bringing up tears too. Also, my mother felt left out, I think, of my California lifestyle and my Maui lifestyle, and she used to judge like, "Oh my God, you're on that god awful island." She'd say, you know, and instead she wanted to say, "I feel lonely. Would you come home and visit me, please?" And so when I lived in Sarasota in 83 to 85, she wanted me to marry John Shea, and then she could have just visited in the winter. So as I'm going there, I'm feeling so much grief that I didn't somehow figure out just how to, she kept saying, I just want to be friends, you know, and I was busy and married and you know, so a lot of these feelings are coming up. So thank you for the empathy. I
Yeah.
feel all that love.
So that's just some twinkling. Thank you, Anne, for showing up. And thank you, Deborah, for sharing.
Thank you for that opportunity. And thank you, Anne and Daniel. And I also really felt, you know, everybody, and I know Lolly and Radiance have been, have been very encouraging.
Thank you. So I want to give a couple other people that we haven't heard from a chance to give or receive. So, and again, thank you, Anne, so much. Who is there anybody who'd like to receive empathy? It's always a good place to start. Is there anybody who's wanting to receive that's in our group? Lolly. Okay, great. So I'm going to just have Lolly share what's alive for her, and then I'm going to open it up maybe to some people we haven't heard from to offer giving empathy. And remember that giving empathy, we always lead with feelings, acknowledging what that person's feeling, acknowledging what their unmet needs might be. And also remember that it doesn't always have to be something uncomfortable. We also can give empathy to celebrate. We can celebrate when somebody has something. Sometimes there's a sense that, you know, it's only when somebody's unhappy or having uncomfortable feelings, but we can also empathize with people that are having comfortable feelings and needs that are met. All right, Lolly, love to hear from you.
I love what you just said about empathizing with good changes, you know, because the subconscious mind always reads it as a loss, whether it's good or bad. And, you know, and we do need witnessing and recognition. It helps, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm just going to go into the 10-week struggle, you guys. Is that what it's about? It's about 10 freaking weeks, okay? And, you know, it's so frustrating because it's like, I feel like I don't know. It feels like when I was calling my mom and I didn't know how to take care of myself yet when I was 4, and I kept waiting for her to come when I was in the bathroom. And, you know, she was busy doing things. And I was like, Mom, come on, you know, and it's like, hurry up and wait, you know? And it just, and what's frustrating about right now is that there's no real known, you know, there's so many what ifs, but the thing that's known is that everything's on freaking hold. And it's so frustrating. And yeah, can we find our way through and can we manage? Yeah, we can, but it's so freaking frustrating. You know, I want one of those Bozo the Clown freaking punching bags and I just want to beat the fuck out of it. Sorry, didn't mean to cuss, but it's just so frustrating right now, you know? And I'm just like sick of it. Anyway, that's what I need empathy for.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Just twinkling. So in a moment, I know that Miriam and Timothy got bumped out of the room, so you guys can go back to your room if you want to. So I'm just going to real quickly, I'm going to put you in a new breakout room, and that way you should be getting a message to join room 5. Yeah. That should be working for you guys. So no. Well, I don't quite know what to do. All right, Timothy, try now. I'm changing your room. If you got a message, join that room. Okay. Miriam and Timothy, I've got to wait until we start. So who would like to kind of just drop in and give Laura like where she's at? Who would like to really just feel with her? you know? And again, just feeling with her is what I'm looking for. Feeling with her. Okay. So,
Mad.
yeah, yeah. So, who wants to just really feel? Mimi. Okay.
I know that you had said that you wanted other people to get some practice as well. So I will make this quick. Coming down the ladder, Laura. Coming down the ladder.
Yeah.
I'm just really recognizing your posture, your shoulders forward, hands, over your mouth, and there's just the sadness, the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid everything.
So I just wanted to be here with you for a moment to let you know you're not alone here. And if I was there, I wouldn't even grab a tissue. I would just let you cry and get all messy.
Mm.
Yeah. So I just want to, there you go. It isn't fair. And it really sucks. And there's a lot of expletives that we could stick in there.
Yeah.
So I just really want to welcome that. Like I'm noticing around your neck space and the stopping breathing and the jaw clenching for the anger. So I just wanted to breathe with you for a moment. And
Okay. Yeah.
And I really hear you on that, revisiting back to that childhood space with you. So I just want to hold that with you for a moment of what was that child really wanting? Like what is that precious need that child really wants?
I just want to say that I don't like what's happening. It's like too much overwhelming. It's enough now.
So overwhelm and
Yeah.
that you've had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want the bad thing to go away.
Yeah. Yeah, hearing that the bad thing can just go away and really having a voice around boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like enough.
Yeah, I'm tired of trying to pretend that like I can manage it easily and it's okay because it's not. It's just there's so many restrictions right now. And it's not just on me, but everybody I care about. Their whole lives are fucked up. And it's really sad.
It is really sad. Yeah.
And it's like there's this boogeyman out there and we don't know what to do, where he is, what is he? Like, what the fuck?
Is there a sound for that? Is there like a rage sound?
Just a tightness in my chest.
So let's just breathe together for a moment.
Yeah.
I see like this deep caring that you have for those people that you care about, and that overwhelm of not knowing, not having anything that can help them to feel safe. So I really get that, especially knowing how much empathy you have for others.
Yeah.
And I'd invite you to consider yawning for a moment just to release your jaw.
Thank you, Mimi. I love you.
I love you. And I would really love to invite all of the love coaches to like hold themselves in holding you for a moment.
Yeah.
Like that. So just a big hug from all of the love coaches. Yeah. I love how much you care.
Thank you.
One more nice big breath.
Thank God for Sister Radiance. Oh, Jesus. Shake it out, right?
Take it out.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you so much. I feel. There we go. There's the ladder.
You were down the ladder. You were down in that tunnel with me. I felt it. Wow. Whew.
And you know what's, because this is a class where we're learning, we're practicing, and there's no right or wrong. But what Mimi did that was lovely was she really took her time and she got her connected to breath and really felt with her. She didn't go into fixing or trying to offer solutions. She just felt with her. And that's always such a challenge for us because most of us so want to contribute. We so want to contribute to the well-being of others. And so often we want to contribute by offering a solution or a fix, often which is brilliant. But we lead with empathy. We lead with feeling it with the person first. Lolly, would you like to receive a little bit more? Or are
No,
you feeling you're full?
I'm good. That's
Okay.
as much as I can handle tonight, but it was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for holding a space for me, too.
Great. Good. All right, I want to welcome Adrian and Kenny back from their breakout room. Welcome back, guys. All right, who else would like to receive some empathy, some understanding? Goodbye, Anne. Thank you. Anybody else want to receive some? And certainly anybody that's got their camera off, like Cassandra or Shiva, Annette, if any of you want to receive some empathy, I'd love to give you an opportunity to do so. Any receivers out there? Well, I'm actually good, but I'll go into something that's somewhat real. It's fairly small compared to what Laura or Deborah have shared. But just for me, caring so much about the classes and getting everything right, and I made a boo-boo. I put the wrong link in a bunch of the threads. I sent one link, this link, out on my email list, and then I put the link that we usually use for evenings at 6 p.m. out to my love coaches. So I was like, oh my God, ah! So the embarrassment, the realization at about 2 minutes till 6 o'clock that I'd sent out the wrong link to a lot of people. And then in the middle of the class, the power goes out. And of course, when the power goes out, the first thought is, I did pay the bill, didn't I? So yeah, no, I've paid the bill. Then I messaged Emily next door and she let me know that her power went out. So, okay, it's a thing. It's a, it's a neighborhood thing. But then you never know, is it going to be out for 2 minutes or 2 days, right? So I've had in the last hour, or a little over an hour now, two little, oh shit, what's going to happen? Oh God. So who would like to maybe guess what I might have been feeling and which of my needs or values were being threatened? Deborah? Okay. Deborah Haviland?
Okay. Oh, so how are you feeling? What is this feeling? Okay.
Deborah, for some reason I'm having trouble hearing your audio. Something's not good with the audio all of a sudden. We heard you before.
I don't know. I didn't change anything.
That's better. That's
Yeah,
better.
you know. So I hear you, Scott. I heard you say you felt embarrassed. And I'm imagining you might have just felt like, oh my God, what next? I'm doing so much. I'm taking care of this and I'm taking care of that. You know, Superman taking care of. I don't know if you think of yourself as Superman, but I do. But you're taking care of everything with Love Coach and multiple 9 a.m., 6 p.m.s every day, and all of that. So, are you feeling, kind of like maxed, and then suddenly the power goes out?
I have been feeling close to maxed for several weeks. Like that's kind of a state of being that I'm living in currently.
Uh,
Um, and, I kind of thought I had it relatively together. I wasn't, but it's more like the surprise of, oh shit, I screwed up. And then when the power goes out, it's like, of course, not knowing, right?
yeah.
So they're just not knowing. And I immediately texted Laura, or actually texted the group thread, and Laura responded. And that gave me some reassurance that, okay, Laura and I are in communication, the class is still going on. And I know now that there's enough people, love coaches that I can, honestly, I could die tomorrow and I know that Love Coach Academy would continue. And that feels really good,
Oh,
It
yeah.
feels really good knowing that there's enough leaders now that have emerged and, things can, move on without me. Not that I'm planning on dying or going anywhere, but there's a good feeling. It's actually a really good feeling, And so there was that part of me that's like, okay, well, even if my power doesn't come on, the class is going to continue, and Laura and other leaders will take over, and it'll be okay. So that,
That must be a wonderful feeling.
yeah,
That must be feeling great. So there may be, I'm imagining there's even other things that you might be feeling great about the success of everybody starting Zooms and Saturday Night Live. Are you feeling some of that? It's,
yeah.
you
Not when the power went out, but
know,
specifically when, just keeping it to today and right now.
yeah.
Because, of course, during that trauma, I wasn't thinking about Saturday Night Live's success. I was kind of in it. Daniel, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, Scott, I'm I noticed that you already had made one mistake by sending the wrong address. And then when the power went out, you mentioned that the first thing you thought of was, did I not pay the bill? So
Hmm.
you right away again went to, maybe you made a mistake there too.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering if there's anything in that little moment before you found out the truth that you were telling yourself about yourself.
Thank you. That's a really good question. See, and that's nice because it helps me to go deeper. Okay, what was really going on for me? Yeah, fear, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fear of messing up.
Mm.
It's like there's that moment of fear, and then, we jump to solution.
Right.
But thank you for slowing me down and bringing me back to the moment of, yeah, there was that moment of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath the fear is the possibility of embarrassment or even shame.
Mm.
Certainly, if the power was out because I didn't pay the bill,
Mm-hmm.
I'd go into shame for
Right.
sure.
Right. And that possibility was there for a moment.
For an instant, yeah.
Yeah.
And literally for about 5 seconds, and then I realized,
Yeah.
okay, PG&E they don't just turn it off; they give you warnings.
Yeah.
But there was that. Oh my God, did I pay the bill? I think I did.
Mm. And you're also needing just to be effective and to be to function and to have it together and to to be here for the class that you organized,
Yeah,
to be
thank you.
present. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. It's, I'm kind of in the dad role both ways. I'm in the
Mm.
dad role here in my home because I'm pretty much the only one here who earns money right now. So
Mm.
I'm paying all the bills and
Mm.
pretty much supporting this household.
Wow.
Um, and obviously I'm the dad of Love Coach Academy.
Right.
So there's that kind of dad vibe.
Mm.
And dad doesn't want to screw up because if dad
Right.
screws up, the children don't eat, right?
Right. Because you care so much.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Mm. Yeah. Sure, Lolly. And thank you, Daniel. Thank you for slowing me down and bringing me into that moment.
Oh, Scott. Mm. You know, just one of the values that seem a little bit irrelevant to me in this moment, but I'm going to speak it out. It's just, you know, a need for efficiency, right? Um, and now that you've just said so much more with Daniel going deeper about like how you're taking care of so many things and just knowing some of the things that you've said on some of the classes about how you're used to being in a relationship and getting that nurturing and all that and where you are right now in that level. And even though I don't know exactly, but I'm just imagining that there might be a little bit of longing there and just for like a place to like lay your hat where you could just let it go, you know, because you're kind of holding a lot of things.
Mm.
So I'm just sort of feeling that.
Mm. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
Hmm. I mean, definitely that wasn't what was up for me during the last hour.
Right.
Um, but it's definitely what's up for me often, especially at the end of the night. You
Yeah.
know, at the end of the night, you know, when I've had a good day and I've done a lot and I've worked for 12 hours,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely, of course, miss having a partner.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
got my puppy. I'm
Got your
grateful for
puppy.
Jasmine Bear. Grateful for Jasmine Bear, definitely.
Yeah.
And my day literally starts every day with her. She wakes me up with little licks. She like waits until sunrise, and then once it gets light out, she's on the bed licking my neck and licking my cheek. And come on, Dad, time to get up, time to get up. So, so I'm grateful for that.
Thank God for Jasmine. Otherwise, LCA might just go somewhere we don't know.
I know. Thank you, Lolly.
Yeah.
Mimi, I think I see Mimi raising her hand.
Yes, I just want to drop in with one moment of certainty. Like, I recognize how well oiled this machine is becoming, this beautiful, gorgeous machine, and the high capacity you have for certainty, because that creates safe containers.
Hmm.
And so, as a person receiving that on a regular basis, I just want to hold that space with you for a moment of, I hear how much space you're holding for people and the certainty that all of these people are dependent upon you. Make certain that all of these pieces fit into place. And so that embarrassment, I would imagine that that's a place of making sure that people feel safe. And I really, really honor that preciousness about you, about how much safety you create in the world and how in alignment that is with certainty and dependence.
Thank you.
And just for this moment, I wanted to give a breath and just breathe with you in, yeah.
Hmm.
And that sometimes there can be a gap there, and you've created a large enough community not to fix it. I'm not trying to fix it, but just for me personally, I see that there's a large enough community that you've given space to that have it, that have you. We're here with you. And so I just wanted to invite breathing into the space that even in uncertainty, you've created this beautiful web of people who've got you.
Hmm.
And if your bill wasn't paid, I could send you some cash.
Thank you.
Got you. So I just wanted you to breathe into the certainty of the group that you created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you. And I'm such a proud papa, you know, that this week we had 3 new groups and that you guys all found each other without me putting you together, you know, that people actually found each other and said, hey, let's do something on Monday nights. Let's do something on Monday mornings. Let's do something on Tuesday mornings. really is, and it just really feels great. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, like Lolly had reached her limit, I think I've reached mine. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Deborah, Daniel, Lolly, and Radiance for your empathy. Ken, I did see you raise your hand, and I wasn't sure if you were wanting to share anything about your time with Adrian, or if there was something that you wanted to share with the group.
Thanks, Scott. No, I didn't raise my hand, and
Oh.
I'm just glad to be connected with this circle of people. I had um, a really deep heart connection with Adrian, and I guess I honor you for making that connection, and I'm thanking all of you for just being here. And you know, empathy. I don't know what to say. It's a two-edged sword. I have lots of it, and it hurts a lot sometimes. But anyway, I'm just glad to be part of this circle. Thank you for making it happen, Scott and Adrian and everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
hi to Desert Rose. I saw you in Maui, and I'm just glad to see another familiar face.
Yeah, it's great to have both of you with us.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you. Good job, Adrian. Good job. So I know that Atira wanted to have a chance to give empathy tonight. But then I didn't see you raise your hand, Atira.
Might be more receiving at this point.
Okay, well, we have time for more and more person to receive.
Do you?
So yeah,
Okay.
so I'd love for you to share what's alive for you and receive some empathy.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, especially after the session last night with Paul and Heidi, I'm realizing that with the coronavirus, I'm 76 and my lover died about 4 years ago, and it's just taken me a while to get going again, and I have other lovers, but I really feel like this lockdown has squished me, absolutely squished me. I usually, I would get into the van and go drive off and meet a lover somewhere here, there. And I was just at the point of redoing my life, and I still am. But I was reaching out to potential lovers, potential partners, and I just feel like everything just got cut. And I'm feeling the pressure of time and the lack of physical, emotional, intellectual connection, if not on a daily basis, at least a couple of days. I mean, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. If it weren't for my phone calls with my lover, Bill, every night where there is some at least intellectual back and forth, I'm not quite brain dead, but it's just very frustrating to feel like I'm cut off in my prime, ready to have that wonderful, empathetic, give and take relationship. And I have bits and pieces with people, and I haven't had the chance to try to integrate more of it to bring it into my life here in Tucson. Deborah, I so empathize with you because I ripped myself out of my Boston High community and brought myself to Tucson, and it still brings tears because I left everyone behind, everyone, daughters, family, to come take care of my mom. And then I built community here. I built High. I built the Body Sacred. I built connection. So I have a women's support group. I have this wonderful connection, but it's like, but where's me? What's happening to the inside of me? Where's me? I'm a shallow, I'm a shell at this point, giving to everybody else. But when will it be my turn?
Thank you. That's rich to work with, and I'll just open it up to any of our love coaches who wanna, and I'd love to hear from at least 2 or 3 of our love
Well,
coaches.
I just want to, address me, and so I can really relate to what you're saying. I hear you, and that even that you came from Boston, because I came from Cambridge, Massachusetts. So
Brookline.
um, I hear how important it is for you, to have these lovers and people that you interact with, and that you're wanting that, emotional, physical, intellectual stimulus. And so you're sounded like you're talking to one person at night, but you're wanting something more. And then I heard you say that you've built, you ripped yourself away, you said, and then you arrived in Tucson, and then you've built all these different communities. Sounds like you've given a lot, given, 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 and now you're wanting to receive, really, to receive. And can you say again, like, what you want to feel, what you want?
What do I want? Um, I actually have a hard time considering what I want, except that I want someone who will interact and give and receive and explore with me, whether it be tantric processes or workshops here. But I want that person nearby.
Right.
And accessible. I keep meeting people who aren't accessible. And part of the workshop to Saturday is to learn how to change what I'm attracting. But, and it's,
Good.
again, because I think I'm very good at empathy, and I give so much empathy that people fall in love with me. And I think, oh, well, I got to fall in love with them.
I hear you.
So I don't know if that answers what I want. I want deep, deep connection.
Deep, and now, and you said proximity. You want it,
Proximity, yes.
feel it, like they're walking in the door and they're with you.
And I'm not moving to California. I can't afford it.
No, I believe that you can have it right there, right where you are. Tucson's a magical place.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're doing a workshop on Saturday that's all about attracting what you want?
Well, it's Paul and Heidi. It sounded really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna work with them.
Oh,
Beautiful.
oh,
Yeah.
Thank you, Deborah. Let's give Adrian a chance to give some empathy. Good job, Deborah. Thank you.
it's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Adrian.
Oh, me and my mute button. Gosh, this one, I think I got it. Hi, Atira. It's good to meet
Hi.
you.
Thank you. Good to meet
Thanks
you.
for being here, being willing to be vulnerable in this interesting dynamic through the ethers. Oh, I really appreciate your willingness to be frustrated with us. There's this quality of frustration. And one thing that really stuck out for me is it's one thing for you to have been doing this stuff, engaged in your life in a particular way, and then to have it kind of stopped and clamped down. But what I'm hearing is like you're just getting ready. 4 years of time between, was it your husband or primary partner? And
Primary partner.
yeah, and doing this work and just kind of poised to like jump off in a particular way, like feeling ready to, and not being able to do that. I just feel that frustration and annoyance. Like what? Like, yeah, like you're like ready to harvest this work that you've been doing for the last 4 years, and to not be able to do that is this extra particular kind of weight and denial. Yeah, this really jumped out at me, and yeah. And I just really appreciating your vibrancy, your willingness and capacity to put your teeth and your hands into life. it's inspiring me, actually. I'm like,
Thank you.
oh, yes, thank you.
I ain't gonna quit.
What's that?
I ain't gonna quit.
Clearly not. Yeah. So thank you for inspiring me, just kind of tuning into your vibrancy and your excitement and your curiosity and your willingness to play and engage.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, and so I can appreciate your frustration, and I can also imagine that there is some willingness on your part to celebrate yourself, like, and it's really coming alive. It's like, yes, oh, give it to me. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Adrian. Let's twinkle, Adrian. And Ari Artira, Desert
Yeah.
Rose.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Thank you.
beautiful name. I'm just taking over for Scott while he had to jump over to a Zoom or something else quickly. So, and I just kind of came in from another room. Is there somebody else who'd like to give Atira some empathy? I'm kind of feeling maybe Mimi might.
Thanks, Atira. I appreciate you giving me the
Thank you,
opportunity to
Adrian.
connect
Thank
with
you
you.
very much.
For your
Yes.
spark
I
and your
would,
frustration. I appreciate it.
I would love to. Hi, Atira.
Hello.
Hi, beautiful. Whew. So I wanted to breathe with you for a moment, and
Yeah.
and then one more time with you for a moment. I really heard the piece that resonated in my heart was, this is a really vibrant time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you were stellar in this very vibrant time of your life. And the stagnation that happened, like the during this massive vibrancy, and clearly it adds to your vibrancy as a human to have a lover, to have these deep connections, and really to have physical connection with people, being able to go out, be in community, and just the stop to that. Yeah. So I just wanted to breathe into that for a moment and just be here with you, because I'm still seeing your vibrancy, like it is coming all the way through the camera.
Good.
But I understand that stopping point, and that I have so much more to give. I really want to be out there, and that when you're out there, that's what is filling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to offer space and your heart space, and ask, like, in this time of quiet, what are the little things that could be filling, that could fill? Like, what are the things?
Thank you for bringing that up, because I think you've hit it. How do I nourish myself when all the other ways of nourishing myself are cut off? Excellent, excellent question. And the one big thing that I'm doing is changing my Honda Odyssey into a camper. Me, physically, I'm doing it. So when the gate's lifted, whoomp, I'm going out that gate. And I'll find somebody to travel with me. Fuck this. So, yes, how do I nourish? There we go. How do I nourish myself? I find a project that's going to get me the hell out of here when I finally have permission to leave. You know?
I love that. I love that you're, like, maybe, like, again, can I offer a fix here? Can I just offer a frequency?
Sure.
One thing would be, like, to just really bring in silly and vibrant into that space with you, because I feel your gifts. Like, I see the colors around you. And so, like, bringing that full life into that space with some celebration of music, and knowing that that visualization of the safe place that you're creating on this beautiful container in the love machine.
Thank you. Thank you. I will keep that and take that to heart. Thank you.
Well, I just adore you, and thank you so much for showing up and sharing your heart.
Thank you. Thank
Let's twinkle Atira and Mimi, Deborah for
and Radiance.
and Radiance. Yeah, that's Mimi,
Adrian.
Radiance.
And
I've got
Adrian as well.
and Adrian, that's right.
And Deborah. Yeah.
And Deborah. So thank you, everybody.
And please take it in, Atira, while people are twinkling you, because you deserve that.
Yeah. I'm appreciating your passion, how passionate you are, Atira. I love a woman who's in her 70s who sees herself as being in her prime. That rocks. That's hot. That's hot.
Totally hot.
I'd love to give, if we've brought back all the people that we're giving, we're in breakout rooms, and so if Miriam or Ken or Love Divine want to give any appreciation to their coaches, the people that they worked with, that's always kind of a nice way to conclude. You don't need to, but if you want to, Love Divine, yeah.
I was just unmuting myself. I would love to give appreciation to Anuprabha. She has for me this laser vision that just goes straight to the core. And I'm just so curious how that has developed, how one develops that. Is it just something that comes from experience of just being present enough with so many people that it just naturally unfolds the ability to really hear what someone is saying, and such a clear vision, finding that exact little spot. I also just really loved Anuprabha bringing my little girl forward, and she playfully expressed herself through Anuprabha, which was so fantastic, and we just kind of giggled and laughed it out. And so that childlike play lightened things up and just made space for something else to come in. And yeah, so I'll just leave it with that. Thank you so much, Anuprabha. I absolutely just love witnessing every time that you give empathy, not just to myself, but to others as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sarah, would you like to share anything about your time with Paul?
Yes. Is it
I
open?
unmuted you. You're good.
Yeah. Are you Paul? Yes. It was amazing. Amazing, amazing. I am very fussy who I connect with. And I asked specifically for someone who's spiritual. And I'm in such a small group. Who knows who's going to show up for me? Although one time in the past, he asked me if I would like to receive empathy, and I said no. But this time, I just was going to ask for what I want. And thank you, Kat, for saying, do you want a man or a woman? Which it didn't matter to me. This is when I wrote to you. I need you to get me someone who is an expert in spirituality. And Paul came. You are so amazing. I would recommend you to anyone. It's wonderful. Love you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yay. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Paul. Miriam, would you like to share anything about your time with Timothy?
Yes, he was excellent. This was the best session that I've had in ages. I put that on the chat room. He was empathetic. I threw a lot at him. I felt like, oh my gosh, how much have I thrown at him? But he was able to tie it all together and give some really good perspectives into the current challenges that I have. And, I have a job interview coming up tomorrow. I'm doing private practice, but I'm also looking into some counseling opportunities. And, he really helped me tune into mind, body, spirit, and gave me some personal experiences of his own, which actually I enjoy sometimes in the context of counseling. I I know there's an appropriate time to do it, and some counselors would say it's you really have to pick and choose when you go into your own personal experience, but it was really helpful to me to hear some of his experiences. So he was just amazing. Yeah, he blew me away, and he told stories, which I always find helpful as well, parables. So I feel a lot more centered and at peace right now. So thank you so much. He was awesome. I don't know if you can see him. I have Malibu in the background now. My
Oh, nice.
Malibu. So thank you very much.
All right. Well, big twinklings there. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and let's really grow this group. Let's really grow it, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to learn, to grow, to practice. Sure that we've got something happening every day. You can always go to my Facebook page and kind of see what's happening next, for the day. And we're getting the Love Coach Academy webpage rebuilt so that in the next few days, you'll be able to go there and find out about every show, everything that we're doing. And we're hoping to have that complete by this week. But tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., Trish and Dawn are going to be talking about self-love. And that's a really wonderful, compassionate talk to come to. And then tomorrow night is the men's group with Timothy and Paul Sterling and other men in Love Coach Academy. So anyway, hope to see all of you we've got a lot going on these days, and thank you everybody for participating at the level you're participating at. Adrian, am I seeing a hand?
Yeah, is this going to be live in the future, or is this going to be the same format as it was today?
Okay, so here's the tricky part. The way Zoom is made, I can't go live on Facebook. Well, I guess I could try it. Today, I could reformat it. It's kind of a technical thing, but actually I'm glad you bring it up. How many of you would still be okay if we have private rooms that you can go into, but if this was live on Facebook and people were still watching, who would be okay with that? And who would not be okay with that? Who would be like, no, I really, who would? Okay, Sarah, thank you. All right, so I'll try next week, because again, Sarah or whoever could always go into a private room. So I'll try going live on Facebook next week as well as but it's going to have to be it'll be this link, because this link allows us to have private meeting rooms, whereas webinars, I can't do that. I can't put people in private meeting rooms in webinars.
I do like the intimacy that not being live creates, for sure. And I also appreciate that when it is live, people can watch and get a lot from hearing people's experience and hearing empathy being given. So I see there's value in both.
Yeah, we're just getting it started again, and I've kind of tried it both ways. So next week we'll try combining the two and see how that goes. Paul.
I send you a message.
Oh. Well, to your point, I think we're noticing there's a need for both. I don't have to remind anyone that if you're on any social media now, you're seeing lots and lots of Brady Bunch videos going by, with a bunch of people talking. And it's kind of like too much sometimes. So I think a little balance of the intimacy like this and then the putting it out there for the world in balance would be best.
Okay, good. Thank you, Paul. And thank you for doing such a wonderful job with Sarah. She asked for somebody who is an expert in spirituality. No pressure, but you delivered.
Well, no secrets. I said, no, I'm not an expert with spirituality, but spirituality is expert with me.
Good answer.
Right.
Clever, very good. All right, everybody. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us. I'll see all of you real soon. Have a good evening.
You too.
Good night, everybody.